Good morning. I have a pretty good example this morning of what happens when you don't deliver value to your audience on a consistent basis. Because you can't hit it out of the park every time. That's just not going to happen. And that is on last Wednesday. So what is today? Tuesday? It's been almost a week. So 6 days ago, Fitbit lost my account. And by that, I mean when they type in my email address, nothing comes up. And that's like 10 years, 11 years of data. Poof. Now, how did this happen? I don't know. I just know that I went to ride my bike last week, and all of a sudden my Fitbit app said, hey, for security purposes, we need you to log back in. So I went to log in. My password didn't work. Eventually sent the old, hey, what's my password? Because I just checked my last pass and it's not right. So something's weird's going on. Never got a password sent to me. Boy, the lighting here today is awful. And finally called them, and they said, oh, yeah. I'm like, can I just give you my mother's maiden name, or, who my best friend is, my dog's first name, something. And they're like, no. And I'm like, no? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. They said, but we're going to give it to our security team, and they will fix you. They'll email you probably by tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow rolls around, nothing. Call them back, and they're like, I'm like, so I work in tech support. I realize you have to verify the account, and I'm like, let me give you my mother's maiden name, blah, blah. No. I'm like, no? They're like, no. We'll have the security team email you, but be patient. We're working on it, and I'm going to escalate you. You're going to be the next person in line. Okay, great. So I had called in the morning for that. So I call in the evening, and I go, hey, I never got that email. And they're like, oh. And I finally got somebody. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but it does impede, this is a fact, it impedes communication. But I got somebody where English was their first language, and he explained to me finally that it wasn't a case of policy where they couldn't give my account or whatever. My account was gone. And I said, well, dude, I'm losing all this data. Been a customer of yours and a fan of yours for 10 years. What's the deal? And again, I was told the security team would reach out to me. Long story short, 6 days later, still don't have my account. And so what do I have now? That's right, you find something else. When your podcast doesn't give you value, there are others that will. And I'd like to show you my new Fitbit, he said, holding up his new Apple Watch. Yeah. And it's actually really cool. And how did I get that? Well, I went into Verizon. Boy, look at me. Now I'm a silhouette. That's what I get for walking. There we go. I went up to upgrade my phone because Verizon said, hey, you're up for an upgrade, which is hilarious because they make it sound like it's free. It wasn't. And so I got the new iPhone, blah, 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 which is hilarious because I realized the new phone's coming out in probably a month or something like that. But it is proof again that, let's just stay under the tree. There we go. Or if I do this, maybe. There we go. That's much better. So if you don't give value to your audience and you don't communicate with them very well, you lose them, even after a decade. And so I'm tired this morning because I was up playing with my new toy, figuring out. I think it's kind of interesting that they measure everything in calories. Like, you have to really kind of look to see how many steps you've taken. And so it's different. But that's just and also, when you deliver bad service to somebody, they will tell everybody. Although I will say, for the last 10 years on my podcast, the Logical Weight Loss Podcast, I've been singing the praises of Fitbit for over a decade. And a week of bad communication and not putting your customer first, and not having enough resources, maybe to take care of them, leads to them leaving. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. take care of your customers, take care of your audience. And this is a much better shot. Let's do this. Let's put the lake behind us, kind of. Here we go. Some geese back there. So take care of your customers, take care of your audience, and they will take care of you. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon.